Hi and welcome to another VCL video. Today we're going to have a look at TPickDialog. This non-visual component allows you to build selection dialogs quickly. In the following video we'll build a little example in which we can select team members from the TMS team. This list has no call for completion. There's more team members. This is just a selection. And what will happen is you click Invoke. You have the ability to select one or more names, and these names will be in another list, so you have the selection of a list. This is a use case that comes around in every application, and I have missed this component many times. I didn't know it existed because obviously it's just a tiny little icon on your tool palette, and also it's non-visual, so it doesn't get proper attention in blog posts and other publications. So this video will take care of you to build selection dialogs quickly and efficiently. Let's build the example using TPickDialog. You create a new VCL Forms application, and we need two components for the demonstration. The first one is a simple button, and the second one is going to be a list box. And the list box is supposed to contain all the elements that we picked in our dialog that we call. How are we going to open the dialog? We are going to use the button for that. So the button will basically be named button invoke, and we set the caption to invoke. And of course we need the pick dialog. Let's have a detailed look at the properties of the pick dialog. First of all, the caption, of course, my pick dialog. And we also have, in addition to the caption, we have the option to show a title, which we are going to enable now. And we're going to set the title to please select name or names. And the nice thing about this component is you can double click it and you get the result of the dialog that you just designed using these properties. Of course, there's also a context menu item called show dialog, but the double click event is hooked up to that. So here you see my pick dialog, that's the caption, and please select names. There's the title. And of course, if we set the title to false, it vanishes. So we want the title, we want it to be sizable. So here you go. Then you can resize the dialog, and of course you can change the fonts and the font of the list separately. We're not going to do that though. The component supports live bindings as well as using the pick items property manually. So we want to select team members from the TMS team. So I'm going to add Bruno, Roman K, then we have Roman Y, then we have Wagner, we have Adrian, we have Marianne, and so on. Peter, Bart, Tom, and so on. So these are the names that are in the list, and you can see that they're not sorted. So if we invoke the dialog right now, you see that I can select one person only, and it's not sorted. And for that, TMS offers the sort property, one click, and all the elements are sorted. And even better, you also have multi-selection if you want to select more than one person. Also, and this is a new feature in the latest version, you can unselect multi-selection, and you can select the different type for the elements inside of the list, which is called list type. Right now it's set to LT list, and if we switch this to LT checklist, we have a checklist where we can select different names using checkboxes. Furthermore, with regard to positioning, we have the option to position the button at the bottom or on the right. These are two alternatives. See, this is how it's most likely shown in the Delphi IDE. Then you can, if you want to do a different language, you can do, for example, German, saying abbrechen, and OK is OK. And here you go. That would be your German localization. Of course, you would have to change the title as well, but everything is flexible in this dialog. Finally, the position of the dialog. By default, it's centered, but you can also specify positions using the properties, left position and top position. We're going to stay with center though. So that's all the customizations that you have for the dialog, and in source code, you basically invoke it using pickdialog1.execute. And of course you get the result. So you can say if pickdialog execute equals mrok, then begin, and else we're going to toss a message saying, hey, you canceled. Show message, you canceled. We run the application, invoke, cancel, you canceled. So what's supposed to happen if we do not cancel? If we actually click OK, then we want the results to appear in our list box. So we can say list box 1 items assign. Well, pickdialog1 has several properties that give you access to what has been selected. If you only have the option to select one item, you can use select index. You can use select string if you want to have the string of the item that's selected. Of course, there's also the data, so the data object of a t-string list that you might have, or you can get a t-string list of all the items that have been selected. As we have multiple people that can be selected, I'm going to use select list in this case. And here you go. We invoke, and we're going to check Bruno, Roman K, and Wagner. And you see all the items have been selected and have been transferred to the list box. Let's switch back to the list type of LT list. Also, I cut the video a little bit. I added a little bit of eye candy. I aligned the button and the list box and gave the form a title. So the style and the list type being changed gives it a totally different dialog without checkboxes. And now what happens is I can no longer select multiple people because multi-cell is false. Also note, if you click the cross, it's the same as canceling the dialog. So going back, we set multi-cell to true, and be aware if you only select one, it's still going to work. Of course, the list is only going to contain one item. So that's how easy you can create pick lists with a TPickDialog component.